You all hear that? Oh, that's a beautiful sound. That's usually the sound of springtime. Everyone's out, getting their yards cleaned up. The mowers are out and running. Someone's smoke alarm was going off in the garage. I think they were started their mower in the garage, or the weed eater or something. Something set it off, and that finally just now stopped. It's nice to have a sense of normalcy. You know, the sound of lawnmowers, the sound of springtime, the birds chirping, the bees buzzing around, and the kids getting mad because the bees really like the willow bush. Oh, they're bumblebees though, and they're good for you. That's what I tell them. But I have a lot of work going on in the backyard. So much. Let's take a quick look at what I've done so far. And then when we're done with that, we're going to talk about the state of rye. Now, if you have ornamental grasses, now is the time to trim those back. Also, if you want to separate them to add more ornamental grasses, now is also the time. You want to separate those guys in the springtime when you see the new growth starting to occur. The state of rye, and more importantly, the state of my Barenbrug SOSMaxx annual ryegrass overseed, where I use that instead of a traditional perennial ryegrass overseed. And what are my final thoughts, because I'm getting ready to kill it. The Bermuda is now waking up, so I have to start preparing for the kill, and that is going to happen today, much to my son's dismay, because he's been actually mowing the backyard with our rotary mower in preparation for a lawn care business. Pretty cool. I'm trying to teach him things, but you know how kids are these days. I don't have a YouTube channel to go along with it to show him how to do things, so his attention span's a little short. Here it is behind me. The SOSMaxx by Barenbrug, their turf quality annual ryegrass. So my final thoughts on this though, it did okay. Now granted, I only did fertilizer like when I put it down, then I threw some X-Start on it like in November, and then it sat up until I applied the Sunday product a few weeks ago. That product helped a little bit. It brought some green back to it, but there wasn't a whole lot of nitrogen. It was just a general like 26% nitrogen fertilizer, and we'll talk about that more later, to just kind of get things going for the season. And it did. It made the lawn grow a whole lot more. That in conjunction with the naturally warmer temperatures. Now my son has been mowing this with the rotary mower in preparation because he wants to start a lawn business this summer. Now I'm all for him doing this, however he has a ways to go. I have been working with him, worked with him some yesterday, and throughout the week really, because he's having to mow this back here like every other day, sometimes every day. It's kind of funny. It's growing a lot. But I'm working with him to help him, develop, the skills and understand the basic concepts behind mowing a lawn. Not many things give you instant gratification like mowing the lawn, because you go and you see what it looks like before, and you see the results immediately afterwards. Be it if you mowed it really well with awesome lines and stripes, or just whacked it down to get it done with. The results are there and they're instant, and every time he's been doing it, he's been getting better. So I'm really, really excited for this, and I'm really excited for him, and we're going to be working on it a whole lot in the coming weeks now that things are getting crazy. But back to the SOSMaxx though, it's been a good winter cover. Not gonna lie on that, it's been really good. Is it as desirable in that, you know, that beautiful dark green that perennial ryegrass has? No, it's nowhere close actually. Now this is really green, but it's not that deep, dark, beautiful perennial ryegrass green. That's honestly probably the biggest fault I have with it, is just the color, but I knew that coming into this. The other thing is it doesn't hold up well to lots of water. Now granted, my situation's different where I have that swale running through the backyard, but that area thinned out and it was okay. And then just once we hit all this rain that we've been having, and frankly, the ground's still oversaturated back here, it met its toll and it's just kind of been meh, and it's decided to do no more. But it took mowing at real low heights. Well, not real low, it was like 3/4 of an inch. But it handled that just fine. It handled rotary cut just fine. Not as moist, or the moisture content's not as high as like your traditional like field variety annual ryegrass you see in the stores, but it's still rather, it's a juicy grass, very juicy, but it's good. I like it. Now the big question, would I use it again? The circumstances would have to be right in order for me to do that. The cost difference is, it's a little bit cheaper than perennial ryegrass by maybe like 10 or 15 bucks, depending on the type of perennial ryegrass you get and when you buy it. Now, throughout like this time of year, prices are still a little high, but like midsummer, prices on like Champion GQ and other perennials, they go down a little bit, but then as fall approaches, everyone's like, oh, I didn't get my overseeding seed, the prices and availability, the prices go up and the availability decreases. If you can't get your hands on any of that, like Champion GQ or something else, I used a blend from Mountain View Seeds last year, and that stuff was hard to kill. Holy cow, it was so hard to kill, but Blondie took care of it for me. So if you can find a good perennial rye mix and you have the means to kill it, and that's really the important bit here, is technically I don't have to spray this out because it is an annual, it's not going to come back. However, it still exhibits the same traits as a perennial ryegrass when it comes to stress, to where it has a allopathic effect on the plants around it. So it will weaken my Bermuda coming out of dormancy, and we cannot have that. This grass is tall, so I have to get it cut, and I have to get it cut real low. Am I going to my scalping height yet? No. I am just getting it cut to allow the Bermuda that is dormant underneath to get some little rays of sunshine. Then here in probably a week or two, I will go scalp, and we'll be talking about scalping at that point in time. But right now, I just need to get things back under control and get it real low, lower than it's been all winter, and it's going to take some time. So my final thoughts on the Barenbrug SOSMaxx annual ryegrass for overseeding your Bermuda. Yeah, go for it if you want to save a little bit of money and you're not too concerned with an overall, like the color quality. You just want something that's green, and that's really all I was going for with this. But if you want that deeper, darker green, then you'll have to go with the perennial ryegrass. However, just make sure you have a quality product like Monument to spray it out, because MSM, while it'll work, it'll take a couple applications, and MSM is some scary stuff simply because the quantities used for a homeowner-sized lawn are so teeny tiny, and it kills oak trees fast. So I have some, I used it once, and I was just like, yeah, I'll stick to my Monument, thank you please. But yeah, so this will be getting sprayed out here probably in the next week or so. Would I do it again back here? If I could anticipate the rainfall, yes. But since I can't, then I don't know. I still like the deeper, darker perennial rye, but this served the purpose. It kept the lawn green over winter, prevented any additional like erosion from, once the dormant Bermuda gets tore up and there's just bare dirt there. It did its job. It did its job well. So yes, I'd recommend this stuff to do it, but just look at your overall situations, circumstances, and what you want out of your lawn when making that decision. So would I use this again? Yes, but not back here. I would go with a perennial ryegrass, mainly because in the wintertime it's all about the show, baby, and everyone loves a good show. So there are my thoughts on that. Thank you all for watching this, the state of the rye, and my opinions on what I used last year and would I use it again. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Hit the like button, and we will see you again soon.